It is September of 2021, and Joel and I are on our trip through California, Oregon, and Washington on our way to Vancouver to do a rail excursion. And this is the first time that we're seeing people. This is Elizabeth, who is Joel's niece, and this is Jan, friend of Elizabeth. Do you want to say hello? Say a quick hello.
Hello.
See, they're real people. And we're having a lovely time. Joel and I have just arrived at the farm in Willows. It's called Chico Rice, even though we're not in Chico anymore. Tom just gave me some rice, fresh out of the mill. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
What is mill? Tell me what you're doing. He's packaging it over here.
Right. So right now he's packaging some of our what we call our blonde rice, and it's blonde you have in your hand there. It's had the brand polished off of it.
So Carter, tell me what you do here on the rice farm real quickly.
Well, all the heavy lifting. No, he did just as much as I did. Help you? Oh yeah,
You help him a little bit, huh?
I would be lost without him.
Okay.
They have some role, right?
Right. Oh yeah.
Carter, what is your kinship to Joel? Are you his...
So Joel is the brother of my grandfather. So you are my
Uncle.
Great uncle.
Great, so you're his great uncle. So what does that make you? A great nephew?
Great nephew.
Oh my God.
Phenomenal
He's a
nephew.
great nephew and I'm a great uncle.
So,
Hello from Chico Rice Farm in Willows, California.
Well, this is the headwaters of the Sacramento River. It's some of the cleanest, purest water I think any of us will be able to drink.
so we're actually going to drink the water right out of the stream, correct?
We just drove up from Chico.
So this is the very beginning of the Sacramento River. It's the headwaters. And Joel is taking a photo. We are at the headwaters of the Sacramento River, and it is September 11th of 2021, so it's the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And Joel and I both lived in New York City. Joel lived in Hoboken, right across the Hudson River.
It's been almost 20 years and I haven't lived there since 2014,
Yeah.
which is 7 years ago.
So we honor those people, we remember those people, but on this day, 20 years later, we're in a beautiful place with
We're sitting under
redwood
sequoias.
trees.
These are sequoias.
Sequoia trees.
Yeah, around us. Beautiful.
And we're going to have more beautiful sights in Mount Shasta.
And we can hear the music of the water.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so we're going to continue, we're going to have lunch and continue on our journey. We are at Lake Siskiyou at Mount Shasta. I mean, it's in the town of Mount Shasta, I guess, or just outside the town of Mount Shasta. And it's a beautiful area, as you can see, in Mount Shasta. Where are we going for dinner? Lily's.
At Lily's.
So we'll have a nice evening in Mount Shasta. So we're in front of the Berryvale Grocery. Tell me the story of Berryvale, Joel.
Before COVID, Berryvale apparently was one of the main meeting places of the locals, and the story is that a lot of Lemurians would come in, and you could just tell that they were different from the rest of the people. But unfortunately, the restaurants closed during this COVID thing, so we're going to go in and see if we can find a muffin we want.
We're sitting here by a meadow near the base of Mount Shasta, And every so often people wander by on scooters, and it's very outdoorsy and very, I'm eating a wonderful blueberry scone. And this meadow is very lush because it's watered by the springs of the mountain. It's not dry.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place to have breakfast. And I'm here too.
I love cooking for people I love.
Bruce, the cleanup guy,
And
is
Sylvia the mess maker.
cleaning up from
Has he worked here long?
Sylvia the baker,
Yes.
who's making
He came with the
I love
Blueberry
cooking for
scones,
people I
right?
love.
Bruce, the cleanup guy,
And
is
Sylvia the mess maker.
cleaning up from
Has he worked here long?
Sylvia the baker,
Yes.
who's making
He came with the house?
blueberry scones, right?
Right.
Wow.
Because-
I've never had a fresh blueberry scone that I can remember. I've never had a fresh
And how do you want them?
hot. Is that the phone?
We have lighted at the Lighthouse Bar and Grill, right? And there's the lighthouse in Bellingham, Washington. And over here on this hill is the university where Bruce and Sylvia met.
Smart head. You look like you're a...
Joel and I had a lovely lunch with Bruce and Sylvia. And this is our last day before our Canadian Rockies rail excursion. But we'll be back here after we come back into the US from Canada.
Everybody has that opportunity to see whatever it is, okay? So the way we like to do that is just give a particular viewpoint.
We are still in Vancouver, but we're going to have apparently some onboard scones pretty soon.
And he is incredibly scared of heights. And he said, well, surely we have entered the gates of hell. And so, as I present to you on your right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, is some of the most ferocious rapids in the narrowest part of the Fraser River, Hell's Gate. Punch, they have 250 flavors. They have 250 flavors of punch now. And guess what's the least favorite? Salmon. Yes, that's your... That bar bridge was built 3 years after the one we're just crossing over. Now it's the longest single arch span bridge for Canadian National on their rail line across the continent.
Here are lunch companions. Say hi to the camera. And this is our view for lunch on Friday on our way to Kamloops. It is 6 a.m. and we are in Kamloops, British Columbia, and we got up at 5 a.m. There's Joel.
We arrived in the dark, we're leaving in the dark, so don't ask us what we thought of Kamloops. Kamloops.
We are on our way to Banff. We have just finished breakfast. It's about whatever time it is. It's about 9:30 in the morning, I think. And we're going to go upstairs, and we will have many hours more in the coach, looking at beautiful scenery going by, like
So we're just
maybe
starting
you
to
can
come
see
into the
now.
town of Sycamoose, which is a
We're coming to the
indigenous
town of
word
Sycamoose.
meaning squeezed or in the middle. We're going to be going over
So today's a
bridge
travel
that
day,
separates
and
two
tomorrow
lakes.
we'll
That's
have
the
more
Squaw
activities
Lake, and
on
the
our
right-hand
schedule.
side is called Mar.
pronounce it differently, but from people we've heard who are from this region in the northeast Hampshire County, they often call it Credality. You'll see next, looking down to your left, some nice.
I think I'm having salad today. What do you have?
Let me try the chicken. I heard a couple of people say that the chicken was really good.
That's it?
Again, that's Stony Creek Falls. And it originates from a mountain way up in the distance. I can hardly make it out way back there past the clouds called Mount
It's Saturday, right? It's a Saturday lunch. And this is our view for lunch. Hello, Joel. You're in the... I'm going to zoom in on the mountains. We're seeing snow-capped mountains now. I think we're still in the Columbia Mountains, but soon we will be seeing the Rockies.
Outside, I can recommend that please come inside now. We're about to enter into the first of our spiral tunnels, the lower spiral tunnel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Did you?
So we have a very nice presentation of cheese and fruit and wine. So we're having a little wine and cheese party. Just after we left Louise, and we're on our way to Banff.
The grapes are delicious.
Good.
Nice and sweet.
Of the automobile, it was more convenient to have them come in here and then out the other side because it created a lot of congestion.
This is Bow Falls. This is the first stop of this tour of Banff, the Banff area. And supposedly there's a scene from The River of No Return with Marilyn Monroe and Robert Mitchum.
It was filmed at these falls.
Here at these falls. So I'll have to take a look at that movie and see if it's in the movie. I don't remember that.
Yeah, we'll look at it.
It's about 36 degrees and it's really cold, but it's nice and brisk and the sun's shining, at least it will be. Yesterday we had a ripping rainstorm all day long and now there's snow all over the mountains.
It's a beautiful day for a tour.
And the officer on the left does not look happy. It's too bad no one put sugar in her coffee today.
So we've just made a quick stop at Tujak Lake, and just stunning scenery here. And that's our little tour bus for the day in Banff, Alberta. We are at the Banff Gondola, which I would call a tram. I guess in Palm Springs it's the tram. There's Joel, and this is where we are about to go. All the way up there. Oh wow, that's pretty high. And we're on a tour. We're all going to be in everybody's photos, right?
Yeah.
Say hello, Joel.
Hello, Joel.
Hello, Joel.
So the hotel in the foreground is the Rimrock Hotel, and the hotel down a little ways that I'm zooming into is the Banff Springs Hotel. Very luxurious hotels in Banff, Alberta. I believe that is Lake Minnewanka, where we were on the boat tour earlier. I'm so glad they have these fire pits. So Joel, did you enjoy the ride up here?
It is about as spectacular as anything I can remember.
Isn't it? It's just, it's breathtaking. What a nice place to have a meal, huh?
I am standing in front of Lake Emerald, and not surprisingly, it has sort of an emerald color. But it's really kind of curious because it's not clear. So I'm assuming that somehow the smokiness of the water from the glaciers has infiltrated it. It's a beautiful emerald color, but it's not a clear lake.
Yes.
And this is the other side of the bridge that we're on. And it's just a stunningly beautiful view over there. The Natural Bridge in Yoho National Park. Here's a man-made bridge that people are standing on. And the Natural Bridge. Joel is next in line to check in to the Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise Hotel. So we've gone through check-in and we're sitting at lunch, and this is our view for lunch. Isn't that beautiful? At the Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise. Just glorious. How fun to be out on the canoe on Lake Louise. So Joel and I have made it out to Lake Louise, to the shoreline. And there it is behind us. And the glacier that's supposed to last maybe another 30 years, they said. And just absolutely beautiful. Over here is where you rent a canoe, but we're not renting a canoe. But it's fun to see them out on the lake. And it's just stunningly beautiful here. Wow. Well, we've had a wonderful day of touring today on our way to Lake Louise. And we came back into Alberta, right? Lake Louise is in Alberta, Canada. And we are going to have a leisurely evening. All we have to do is have dinner at the hotel. And experiencing a little bit of luxury that we both deserve, right? Right. Joel and I have decided that we're retiring to Lake Louise, but only for the summer. There's no way we could spend the winter here.
Only in July.
Although it is absolutely beautiful.
Oh, what a beautiful morning.
I'm going to do our, I'm going to do our 360. So there's the hotel behind us. That's where we had lunch yesterday. And so let's just turn slowly and we'll see the view all the way around. And there is the view that everyone wants to see. There's the glacier where we're going, and there are people up there now. You can see their vehicles. The vehicles where the people are actually on the glacier.
You guys are going to see your first glacier of the tour today. That big white snow cap up there. They said Canada has more lakes than the rest of the world, and these waterfalls prove it. There's so much water here. We are on our way. Let's see if I can find it. We're on our way to the glass shelf. Right there. We're going out to the glass shelf on our tour of Jasper National Park. Oh my goodness. Wow. Joel got way ahead of me on the glass shelf. Here we are looking, this is looking straight down. And you can see a beautiful waterfall. Down there. Which I'm sure is a very beautiful close-up, but I don't need to see it close up. I'm gonna go join Joel where it's nice and safe.
Can't tell how far it is. I think that's what doesn't bother me. You can't tell.
So what did you think of the skywalk?
I didn't think it was going to be scary because it's not as deep as Grand Canyon, but it's scary. It's deep enough.
It is. It's, yeah, when you're standing on glass and it's so deep, yes. Sing it.
Everything was beautiful at the ballet.
Singing in this beautiful scenery. Athabasca Falls viewpoint is where we are. So I guess we were saying it correctly. This is the lower tunnel. The water used to run through here, but over time it no longer does. Just gorgeous. Wow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that something? Oh, that's beautiful.
Beautiful rock. Here's the big guy.
They grew a new set of antlers every year. Antlers are temporary, horns are permanent.
This is our wonderful breakfast in Jasper National Park. What's the name of the restaurant?
The Wilderness Kitchen.
The Wilderness Kitchen.
At Moline Canyon.
At Moline Canyon. So we are in Moline Canyon, and it's quite, oh, no wonder it's a sight to see. We're at the first bridge. Oh no, this is the second bridge. The waterfall at bridge number 3 in Moline Canyon in Jasper National Park. It's a long way to the third bridge. We came down quite a bit and now we have to go back up. We're back on the walk up from the third bridge. How do you feel, Joel?
I can't speak.
We're both a bit out of breath. So here's the Moline Lake boat launch, and what an incredible view of the mountains. I'm going to stop and just enjoy the view. Oh my. We've had a little bit of rain this morning, but now that we've gotten to Moline Lake, the sun is starting to come out. And it looks like we'll have a beautiful remainder of the day. Gorgeous. Everyone's stopping to see the deer at Moline Lake.
As long as it doesn't go across the road in another County.
It's beautiful.
And the ears have that black trim to them. It is darker than the white-tailed deer. White-tailed deer being more of a light brown color.
Oh, Mama was waiting for the baby. You're back safely. Oh, I'm so glad you're back. Look at that. Stick around. Hey, go to the front. They're gorgeous.
We're just leaving Moline Lake.
I think I weigh more than he does right now.
There are moose everywhere.
Look at that. Fantastic. Oh, incredible, you guys.
Look at you.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's beautiful.
To see it so close up.
Very healthy bear. Nothing wrong with his fur.
Beautiful brown nose.
is.
Oh, that is so.
Everybody getting a good view there?
So here's Pyramid Mountain, and I'll move over a little bit, and this is the incredible view from the Moline overlook. And we believe, and it makes sense, that over here where the development is, that's the town of Jasper, where our hotel is, where we're staying. Right there. So the town of Jasper is in Jasper National Park, and we are concluding our tour, and we'll be on our own for the afternoon. We're starting our journey out of Jasper, and we'll board the Rocky Mountaineer train. What day of the week is it? I forgot. Friday? Thursday. It's Thursday. And it's been a wonderful trip in Jasper National Park, and we're looking forward to getting back on the train and being treated like royalty.
But we are not looking forward to going back to Kamloops.
Yeah, it was just an overnight hotel stop.
Yeah.
And then on to Vancouver after that.
Oh, did we ever?
We did see a bear yesterday. We were coming back from Moline Lake.
Obviously, while you're dining, take it off. You annoy me.
This is Moose Lake. But there aren't any moose.
Mount Robson is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It does border onto Jasper National Park, the Mount Robson Provincial Park, and it is in British Columbia. Now, we quite often get asked, when I say Forward Mountains in the Canadian Rockies,
Say this is the
Rockies
tallest?
in America,
In the Canadian
there's quite a lot of peaks that are quite a fair bit.
This is the beautiful morning sky in Kamloops, British Columbia. And this is the last day of our rail excursion, although we're far from the end of our trip. After we cross the border, we're going to the Olympic Peninsula with Bruce and Sylvia. So we're looking forward to that. Thank you, Canada.
Equipment on board, which includes fire extinguishers, ladders, and first aid kits. Your onboard crew are trained in first aid and emergency procedures. There are 12 exits from this car. There's an exit door at each end of the dome car, located on the lower level. Please note that these doors slide open automatically by pressing the green button. We have emergency decals located throughout the car, and they're marked with glow-in-the-dark decals and red handles.
Just about to enter the tunnel.
Wait, excuse me.
But that's the traveling. I did go to, I took a pilgrimage with a priest from his parish.
Rainbow Canyon on the Thompson River. freight trains. It's about 2 miles long. Wow. Now they're not Canadian geese, they're too small, but they're pretty whatever they are. Maybe they're the oscillator.
Was what?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, shortly we're coming up to the town of Lytton, or what's left of Lytton. About the different timelines that they were
having lunch
so
with Peggy and Jean. Say hello, Peggy and Jean.
1913 for the opening in 1883 for the opening in 1885.
I will try.
And then the Canadian National Line was built years later. So when the Canadian Pacific Bridge crossed over the river, so the Canadian.
We're having our last meal on the train. It's been a wonderful trip. Peggy and Jean we're having lunch with. And Joel is having his Chardonnay. And there we go. Let me get Joel in here. Thank you, Brett. And we're going to have a toast, right? Let me see if I can.
Here's a toast to Woody and Joel and all of the good companions that we have had on this trip.
To all of us.
Such as it is.
Well, I never knew what a blueberry bush looked like, but here they are in British Columbia.
Oh. Well, no, but they took us to different areas, sites.
That's where Joel hurt himself. What exactly did you do?
I stepped down just as it came up and it jammed my leg into my buttock area.
So this is the last time we crossed the Fraser River on this trip. We've been on it for much of the trip.
We just arrived in Vancouver. We have taken the week-long trip on the Rocky Mountaineer from Vancouver to Banff to
up the ice fields scenic drive to Jasper, and then back on the Rocky Mountaineer train in the last 2 days from Jasper to Vancouver. And
it was a spectacular trip. It was just as spectacular as we wished it would be.
Absolutely wonderful. One of the best trips I have ever taken. Highly recommended. In fact, I found it after Joel arranged all of this, I found the Canadian Rocky Mountain train trip in the book of 1001 Places to See Before You Die. We are at the Welcome Center at Canada Place. There's Mr. Joel reading his phone. It's Saturday morning of our trip. We've departed the train yesterday, had a nice evening in the hotel, and we are on our way to Victoria, which is 92 kilometers away. We've made it to the Bush Art Gardens, and these are some of the first amazing blooms that we have. They're huge trumpet flowers. You can see how big it is relative to my hand. It's just monstrous and monstrously beautiful. Here's Joel at the sunken garden that we've just arrived at, and wow. Joel and I are looking at the concert lawn at the Butchart Gardens in Victoria, British Columbia. And who performed here? Teresa Stratus
And Grace Bunbury.
and Grace Bunbury. They were all here. And it's a lovely garden.
Go on a field trip here with your 8-year-old boys like this?
The flowers are so pretty, and so much is in bloom in late September of 2021. We're in the rose garden now, and the Jenny Butchart variety of rose is right here by us. This is the dolphin fountain at the Butchart Gardens, and a little map that's very helpful as we're going through.
Yeah, why don't you point it?
What's your impression of the Butchart Gardens, Joel?
They're magnificent.
We've taken a respite from the garden and are having some gelato. And this is our beautiful setting. And we're counting our blessings. It's such a beautiful place.
This is the famous Empress Hotel. Woody and I just had lunch in it. It's famous for its teas. And there's a vast dining room with ladies in it who are having teas. There's teapots with lighted flames under it. Anyway, it's one of the great Grand Dame hotels of the world. And I think it stands up to it. It's really beautiful.
Sandwiches and pastries and scones and all of that.
Yeah, so
And it was just too much for us.
We had fish and chips.
Yes, very British of us in British Columbia, right? It was delicious.
And the air is just gorgeous. It must be about 68 degrees and sunny. It's been a beautiful day all day, and the forecast tomorrow is clouds and rain, so we lucked out.
We've just begun our journey back on the ferry from Victoria to Vancouver. It's been a full and wonderful day, and we're just going to relax the rest of the evening. Well, we just had a lovely breakfast in the hotel. The Sutton Place Hotel. I think it's the most luxurious hotel we've stayed at. Certainly enjoyed it for 2 nights here in Vancouver in September of 2021. We're just packing up and getting ready to get on the road to see Joel's cousins in Bellingham this afternoon. Last look at our view from the hotel room in Vancouver. Very nice. So here we are on the Salish Ferry. We've just left Cookeville on our way to Port Angeles, Washington. So this map on the ferry is great. It shows we were on the 20 here, and we drove all of this away down to Cookeville. I guess this is still Cookeville, and that's where we got on the ferry. So we're somewhere in the middle here now, and we are going to look for breakfast, brunch, or lunch in Port Townsend. Is that where we are at the Blue
Yes,
Moose
we're
Cafe?
at the Blue Moose Cafe, and there actually is a Blue Moose.
And
I didn't know.
they are known for their corned beef hash and other things. And there's the Blue Moose in Port Townsend. We made it to Hurricane Ridge in Olympic National Park. And Bruce and Joel and Sylvia are looking at a topographical map. Olympic Mountains, what we would see on a clear day, this is all of the mountains. There's Mount Seattle and Mount Olympus, but this is our view today. In the clouds, but it's beautiful nonetheless. Joel has worked his magic with the I Am Presence, and the sun has come out, and we're at the visitor center at Hurricane Ridge, and wow, the calamari has just arrived at our seafood restaurant in Port Angeles,
Yes.
Washington, on the Olympic Peninsula.
And it looks delicious.
It does look delicious, and we're looking forward to it. And we didn't have a great view up at Hurricane Ridge today, but they're very well maybe northern lights, right, Bruce?
There's a possibility.
There's a possibility of northern lights, so we're looking forward to that.
If we can find north.
If what?
If we can find north.
We've just arrived at Rialto Beach.
Takes all the land around it. Wash that away. Sea stacks, yeah.
Is that what they're called? Sea stacks?
There's a whole hole in the wall where the headland comes out and there's a tunnel. The hole's been drilled right through it.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, it almost got me. Info about Washington geology and tsunamis, and it's a nice map of where we are.
We are in the whole rainforest of the Olympic National Park.
We are doing the Hall of Mosses trail because it's about a quarter mile. The other trails are a bit longer here in the rainforest. It's very peaceful.
Pretty fun.
Joel is doing much better since his injury. He's done the entire hike. It's about 1.1 mile loop hike in the rainforest.
He's documented forever. Yeah,
We've just arrived at the Rainforest Resort Village, and our room is right here on the lake, Lake Quinault, in the Olympic National Park in the rainforest. And here is our little balcony. It's a quaint little lodge for our last evening with Joel's wonderful relatives, Sylvia and Bruce. You didn't know you were going to have burglars, did you?
I didn't know that.
And look at this wonderful view, lake view from our rooms.
Sitting here.
This is the biggest tree we've seen on this,
Ever. Let's see.
actually in the whole trip, I think.
So it's the world's largest Sitka spruce tree here at the Rainforest Resort Village where we spent last night together. And now here's the tree. I'm going to point up, it's raining, so I'll probably get raindrops on the lens, but that's all right. It's beautiful. Wow. There's the waterfall. You can see it from the road. Isn't that pretty? Wow. Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, wow. Anybody take a shower?
We are at the Merriman Waterfall. Just beautiful.
I wonder what it was like in the summer when we had the dry season.
I know. Actually,
What do you think of the waterfall?
I think it's fabulous, and I'm wearing it.
I was going to say, I think Sylvia was in the waterfall.
Oh yes, you were in the waterfall.
I did. It's quite delightful.
Joel and I are in Cannon Beach, Oregon, looking for dinner, but we had to come to the beach as well. So here we are.
Looking for dinner.
What do you think of Cannon Beach?
Well, it's a cute little town. It's sort of East Hampton, like a mini East Hampton, I would say,
Yeah.
without the diversity.
Joel and I are staying at the Waves Hotel in Cannon Beach, Oregon. And here's Joel. And this is a little bit of the Waves Hotel right there. We've come across some elk here in Cannon Beach, Oregon. Oh my goodness, there's a big one with horns. I hope he doesn't charge the car. Hello, elk. Big one. It's Thursday, the last day of September 2021, and we are working our way down the Oregon coast, currently in Tillamook County, and it's really pretty here. This is the famous Oregon coast. Here in Brookings, Oregon. It's Friday morning, October 1st, 2021, in Brookings, Oregon, the day before Joel's birthday. Wasn't that pretty? It's sunrise at the point, and I came out to do some video. Joel's probably having coffee in the room at this point. And that's the path I went up to get some of my video. And wow, the views here are just stunningly beautiful. The last of the Oregon coast, because today we head to California. We're looking at the immortal tree in the Avenue of the Giants on our way to Garberville, which is our destination for today. And here is the immortal tree. It is October 2nd, 2021. It's my sister's birthday, and it's also Joel's birthday. Happy birthday, Joel.
Thank you, Woody. It's a gorgeous day here.
This grove of coastal redwoods that we just drove through is the Richardson Grove. It's a state park. There's a historic lodge here, and the visitor center, which is closed for COVID. But the small part that we can see is just incredible. Joel and I have just driven from Garberville to the coast. We're on our way to have lunch in Fort Bragg. And this is our reward for the drive. Isn't that beautiful? California coast. So Joel, How do you like your birthday trip?
Wow, is this magnificent or what?
It's fantastic, really.
California is just the best. I think they'd be on the beach.
I think they're pelicans, but I'm not sure. We'll find out later when we watch the video. Here's our restaurant on the California coast for Joel's birthday. So Joel, do you want to have birthday cake here or do you want to have it closer to the hotel in Garberville?
Let's have it somewhere else.
Birthday cake to come.
A lovely spot, lousy crab cakes.
Oh, well, happy birthday anyway.
But it was a wonderful location. That was fun.
Beautiful view. Here's the restaurant where we had lunch for Joel's birthday. This is the Benbow Historic Inn, just outside Garberville, California. And Joel stayed here a while ago. Tell me about it, Joel.
Adam and I stayed here in 1986 when we were on our way to the Avenue of the Giants. We wanted to stay here because my Aunt Florence and my Uncle Tom and Aunt Kay had stayed here when they made a journey up to the state of Washington. They raved about it, so it was a historic inn. So Adam and I stayed one evening on the way to the Avenue of the Giants. I can't believe it is 35 years ago this year.
Wow.
We considered staying here and then we decided not to. It's too bad we didn't because we
You mean this trip, you and me?
Yeah, because we ended up going to Garberville, which is not exactly a tourist destination.
Yeah. So we're going to see if we can have a drink at the bar and wish us luck.
We're in the Benbow Inn heading for the bar, but we don't know where it is.
This looks like a library or a receiving room, entrance room. It's very nice. Joel and I are going to have a toast. Let me see if I can manage this. We're going to have a toast to Adam, because Joel and Adam were here in what year?
1986.
1986.
And to my Aunt Florence, who loved this place.
And to Aunt Florence, who loved the Benbow Inn. And to Joel himself, because it's his birthday. And I get to enjoy my glass of wine. And so does Joel. Joel's and my dessert, but for Joel's birthday, October 2nd, 2021. Happy birthday, Joel.
Thank you, Woody. This is creme brulee.
Yes. At the Benbow Inn.
In addition to the berry, they've thrown in 3 grapes.
Oh, terrific. Well, it looks delicious. We're going to dig in. The Benbow Bears. They're playing Ella just for Joel on his birthday. A little bit of the scene here at the Benbow Inn. We've had a nice dessert, glass of wine, and we're on our way back to Garberville. We're just a little before Guerneville, our destination for today, after leaving Garberville and the Avenue of the Giants area, and we have now officially arrived in wine country, the vineyards. And what this is the Sonoma Valley, right? Sonoma County?
Right.
Okay.
And we just passed the Rodney Strong Vineyards. I don't think this is part of it, but it could be.
But you've drunk Rodney Strong wine, right?
Oh, yes, indeed.
I've never had it, so maybe I'll have some tonight, or today with lunch or with dinner. We are staying at Johnson's Beach. It's right on the Russian River. It's cabins and a campground. And there was one tent last night. And there's our little cabin, number 66. My car parked below. Wave hi, Joel.
I just touched the water of the Russian River, and it's really cold and it's very stony, and I was just thinking we're really blessed to have the warm waters off of Fort Lauderdale and the sandy beaches. And
We are.
Along the ocean is gorgeous to look at, but bone chilly.
Yeah.
Bodega Bay. We're in an extension laying down into the ocean that's called the Neck. And my Aunt Florence brought me out here many years ago to show me an arch that I somehow cannot find. And I brought many people out here over the last 30 years or so. And that's one of my favorite places along the coast. It's pretty dramatic and beautiful.
And we're about to have breakfast in Guerneville at the River Inn. How are you feeling this morning, Joel?
Don't ask.
Where to? Oh, we're getting coffee. Good. Thank you. People probably felt sorry for us walking here. We're two invalids because I hurt my hip and Joel injured his leg on the train. I don't know how I hurt myself. It just happened. I guess it's age. But we get to watch somebody creating art outside of our window. So that's kind of fun. Good morning, Joel.
Buddy, this coffee's good.
Good. I'm glad. We've had a challenge.
Putting the camera on me.
We've had a challenge having good coffee. I'm glad it's good.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
The sun feels very good. We just had breakfast in Guerneville in the Russian River. We had breakfast at the River Inn, and we discovered they also own that taco truck. So they've got quite a family business. And Joel and I, we were looking forward to going to the Armstrong Woods, right by the road that goes to it. And I don't think we're not able to go there because why, Joel?
The wood is closed because of the drought and the risk of fire. And apparently they don't have the staff to fight the fires. So just like Mount Shasta, they've closed the Armstrong Woods here.
Yeah. So that's our only thing that we can't do. Otherwise, we're going to enjoy the Russian River area. And I think
I'm standing here in the sun and flying out.
We're going to go to Occidental today and have lunch at what?
Howard's Cafe.
Howard's Cafe that Joel knows from years ago.
Yeah, about almost 30 years ago.
30 years ago. So it'll be a little adventure. So we're outside the Union Hotel in Occidental. What do you know about the Union Hotel?
It was one of about 3 places that advertised spaghetti dinners. People used to flock here for very mediocre pasta.
Some bikers in Occidental are about to take off.
Not from Occidental.
Well, they're visiting Occidental. Joel and I are driving from Occidental to the coast. What's the name of the road?
Coleman Valley Road.
Coleman Valley Road. And it's very California country, very picturesque. Oh. Just a little country road in California.
Famous country.
Famous country. The ocean is fogged in. You can see over here. Joel has brought me to the ocean on Coleman Valley Road. And the ocean is fogged in, but it's beautiful nonetheless. The California coast. This was a real school in the 1800s, and it says in March of 1962, Alfred Hitchcock used the school in his film, The Birds. So we are in the town of Bodega, and we've just left Bodega Bay, or Bodega Harbor. This is the building that was in the movie for The Birds. Oh, I've lost Joel. There he is. So, how many times have you been here?
Oh, between 500 and 700.
Oh, okay. I'm going to back up a little bit to get more of a sense of the size of the building.
Oh, but I just saw the apple tree across the way.
Okay.
Around 3:30.
Okay, so we're at Howard's Station Cafe in Occidental, California, and we're going to have a nice day. What else are we doing today, Joel?
We are going to the osmosis baths, where we're going to be steeped in peat moss or cedar moss or whatever moss it is. To get our bodies steamed, and we need it. I need it.
It's going to be very relaxing, and I'm looking forward to it. Joel's done it before, but it'll be my first time. This is the Russian River as it empties into the Pacific Ocean. And there's a lodge right here. It'd be nice to stay there sometime, some other time. It is Tuesday, and Joel and I have reached the last day of our 3-week vacation, because tomorrow we head home to Palm Springs. And we've been on the road a long time, and Joel made these appointments for us to have a cedar enzyme bath at the Osmosis Day Spa. And you've done it before.
Yeah, and we both need it because we're both exhausted from this vacation.
How many times have you done it?
4 or 5.
Oh, okay.
Some of them.
And there's the building back there. And we're going to head in shortly.
I'm trying to remember when I first did it. I first did it around 1989, 1990.
Okay. Well, Joel's going to enjoy it again, and then I'm going to enjoy it for the first time.
Away we go.
Well, it's the end of our trip for 2021, and my car is filthy. We're just about to leave the cabin at Johnson's Beach and drive home to Palm Springs. It's Wednesday. We're in cabin number 66, and we just found out that Johnson's Beach has been sold. So who knows what will be here next time we come. And Joel and I had a really magical experience yesterday at the Osmosis Spa in Occidental, and it was the whole vacation has been the experience of a lifetime. We both said it's the best vacation we've both ever been on. So tell me about Osmosis Health Spa, your experience yesterday.
Well, I had forgotten how powerful the healing heat was, and all of our joints and bones were aching. So we laid in that hot cedar, and I just feel it seeping into my bones and healing me, and I'm feeling revitalized today.
Good, I am too, and I'm glad because we have almost a 9-hour drive home to Palm Springs from Guerneville, right?
So we'll be exhausted all over again.
And we're both I'm looking forward to sleeping in my own bed, and Joel has slept in his bedroom, the second bedroom in my condo. So we're both looking forward to being in familiar beds, let's put it that way.
So,
say goodbye to Guerneville.
The next time we'll be talking, we'll be in Palm Springs.
Well, we don't have to say goodbye. We could say so long. We will probably see Guerneville again at some point.
That would be nice.
All right. Okay, the journey continues.
Okay, that should be quieter. Right, so back in Wuji, we got 10 minutes before this turns off, and we come back again. So we're going to raise hands. That's an inhale, and exhale into the chest. Inhale out. And as the hands go down, chin goes to chest as you exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Feel a nice little stretch in the back of your neck. Drop the shoulders.
We are near a very famous person's grave here in Cathedral City. This is not Frank Sinatra's original headstone. This is the recent replacement done sometime in the last year. There's Joel, there's the Gabors, and over here is a giant in the American Musical Theater. Absolute giant, Frederick Loewe. Thank heaven for Frederick Loewe, 1901 to 1988, world-beloved composer. And he's buried just down from Frank Sinatra. And Frank is right over there. It is Thursday, October 14th. Joel was supposed to leave on Tuesday, but he's still here in Palm Springs. We are at the Coachella Valley Preserve.
Wow, look at all the water here.
There is an actual pond, but we saw a sign that said the pond is closed. So we're going to go as far as we can go at the Coachella Valley Preserve and see what we can see.
There are so many amazing things to see. I'm noticing how the palm fronds are intertwined in a way that they're embracing each other. It's really quite amazing. And then you look at how tall some of these trees are. They're immense. And I wonder why these tallest trees are in this area, and yet a lot of the area is much smaller trees. There must be a different species, different type palm. It's the only thing we can guess at. It's all gorgeous. It's amazing.
Yes, I agree. Regardless of how tall they are, they're all gorgeous.
It's sort of like the palm trees version of the redwoods.
So we've gone as far as we're going to go at the Coachella Valley Preserve. And what you said, this is your first time here. I thought I'd brought you here before, but it's your first time.
Right, it's fabulous.
You like it?
Fabulous.
He said it was exactly the kind of thing you wanted to do today, just to be outside.
I'm seeing what an oasis is. It's really wonderful. I'm imagining that in deserts throughout the world, this is fairly commonplace.
Yeah.
Where water finds its way to the surface.
Yeah.
Where did the name Coachella come
Christmas, the fruit is picked once a week. A bunch of dates cannot be cut like a bunch of bananas. They must be picked individually as they ripen.
Joel and I are at Shields Day Garden. I'm having the Shields signature salad, and he is having the curry chicken salad
on papaya.
Joel is finishing his lunch, and we are truly having lunch in a date garden at Shields Date Garden. Joel should be flying out to Fort Lauderdale in the morning, so this is a nice way to spend the last day of this never-ending vacation. No, it's been a great vacation. But Joel was supposed to leave on Tuesday, and now he has a flight for Friday, so wish us luck.